How about that ending in Detroit? Woo! Now you see, that right there is one of the many reasons why Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. Only he could do a thing like that. That Hail Mary was just beautiful. All shades of beautiful. And it was amazing. The Packers never led in that game. Never led in that game. Until it counted with that Hail Mary. So we got that win. We're 8-4, and a miracle happened. Russell Wilson actually did something right. That's a miracle. So with that, it's a tie atop the NFC North, and we have the tiebreaker, the 30-13 victory in a few weeks ago in Minnesota. That's the difference right now. That's the difference. And in even better news, the Queen herself, Tom Brady, lost again. This time she managed to lose at home to the Eagles. Now you see, hopefully ignorant people will get off her vagina. By ignorant people, I mean Skip Bayless. That Brady's the best. There's only one quarterback in the NFL worse than Jay Cutler, and the Patriots just lost to him. and again, this would never happen to Rodgers. Rodgers beats good quarterbacks. Rodgers beats starters. In 2 weeks, Brady has lost to a backup and a scrub. He's no good. He's no good. And people had the nerve to talk about Peyton Manning. Peyton beat Rodgers. Brady lost to Bradford. So Brady's getting lower and lower in that totem pole. Speaking of low, let's talk about the NFC East. I mean East. What a fun division this has been this year. 5-7. That's what leads the East. Everybody's 5-7 except Dallas. Dallas made things interesting when they beat Washington on Monday. So at 4-8, they're one game out. And you have everybody else at 5-7. The poor Giants lost. I mean, Philly's win moved them to 5-7. Now Washington's 5-7. Now here's the thing. Here's a scenario. At the moment, the first place team is Washington. Washington is the first place team. The reason for that is they have head-to-head tiebreakers over both New York and Philly. That to me is shocking, because I thought they would be the biggest train wreck in the NFC, and now here they are leading the division. I mean, who the hell had that happening entering December? Who had that entering December? I thought Dallas would be in first place. Probably a few others thought New York, and maybe a few said Philly. But Washington? It's amazing. And so everybody's still alive, obviously, in this train wreck division. And let me detail something. Here's a fun fact. This whole thing with the bad divisions, with the teams winning at bad records, this has been happening since 2010. It all started with the Seahawks back in 2010. They won the division. They won the NFC West at 7-9. We all remember this, and they actually won a home playoff game against the Saints, who were then the defending champions. To this day, I still can't believe that. And of course, the Packers have been on the end of this. Not a bad record, but the Packers in 2013 won the NFC North at 8-7-1. That's a winning record, but is it really? Of course, last year the Panthers won the NFC South at 7-8-1. Of course, now they're 12-0. So how's that for a turnaround? But You have these purists going, well, losing teams with a losing record, they shouldn't be in the playoffs. They shouldn't win a division. They shouldn't have a home playoff game. It's not right. It shouldn't happen. Shut up. Just shut the fuck up, please. I'm so sick of that. People kill me with that noise. They shouldn't win the division. They shouldn't win the division of that. Let me just say something. First place is first place, okay? First place is first place. Doesn't matter if it's 16-0, 15-1, 14-2, or if it's 9-7, 8-8, 8-7-1, or God forbid 7-8-1 or 7-9, or we could be facing 6-10, winning the NFC East. First place is first place. People need to get off that high horse about sub 500 teams winning the division. I mean, it's bullshit. People need to stop that. I mean, they say you got people like Michael Wilbon saying destroy the divisions, break them by record. Why? Divisions like this are fun. We need some comedy in sports, okay? Divisions like this where everybody sucks, but one team's actually going to prosper from it. That's comedy. We need laughs. We need some laughs right now. And we've been having this good laugh for the last 5 years. Don't take that away from us. Don't start re-ranking teams and realigning teams to benefit this purist way of how sports should work. We need some laughs. The NFC East has provided us with good comedy. So did the AFC South for a while. Because the AFC South started to look a bit more respectable with Indy and Houston tied for first place at 6-6. But like I said, don't ruin a good thing. We need comedy in sports, and the NFC East is that comedy show. So people need to just get over it. They need to blame the teams that failed to catch them. You don't want sub 500 division winners. How about the teams trying to catch them actually win some games? How about that? Just win some games. Otherwise, don't cry and moan and piss and have a PMS fit like Tom Brady does every time somebody breathes on him, or her, I should say. Brady's not a man. If Brady's a man, I'm a Vikings fan. But don't have a hissy fit when somebody's 7-9, wins the division, and plays at home at the playoffs against a team who's won 10 games. Don't give me that. Just get over it. That's all I have to say on that subject. And speaking of divisions, one division was clinched in week 13, and that was before that team took the field. The Panthers won the NFC South before they took the field in New Orleans, when Atlanta lost yet again, this time to the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers swept the season series, and thanks to that, the Bucs are climbing up in that playoff picture. Both teams are 6-6, but the Buccaneers, who won 2 games all last year, could be in the playoffs. So that's something. And speaking of playoffs, a lot of scenarios for week 14. Only one division was clinched. 4 more can be clinched this week. 4 more can be clinched this week. 3 in the AFC. Of course, it doesn't take a genius to figure out which one can't be clinched in the American Football Conference. And the West, the NFC West can be wrapped up. Arizona wins, which we need them to. They're playing Minnesota tomorrow. Arizona wins, and Seattle gets beat. They get the West, a division they should have won last year, but they can win it. They can win it this week. The AFC North is easy. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh face each other. All they have to do is beat Pittsburgh or tie them. If they lose, they can still get in the playoffs, but the Jets and Kansas City got to get beat. Denver Denver gets the West. If they win and Kansas City doesn't win, lose or tie, just lose or tie for Kansas City. If Denver does end up tying, Kansas City's gotta get beat, but they can still get in. They win. The Jets or Pittsburgh get beat. And for New England still hasn't clinched a playoff spot. That's the funny thing about this. New England has not clinched a playoff spot, and they can get in. There's so many ways they can get in. They can just win and get in. They could win the East this week too, but that's where it gets crazy. They could get in if they win and the Jets lose or tie. If both teams win, then that strength of victory tiebreaker, which is like the 13th tiebreaker out of the million they have, that has to come to play. And that has certain teams having to win, certain teams having to lose, and it's mind-boggling. I still remember 10 years ago, the Packers had a chance to get in the playoffs, but it had to do with strength of victory, so my head nearly exploded trying to figure out who had to win, who had to lose. But in the end, we ended up getting eliminated anyway. So it was nuts. So that was week 13. The nuttiness, the miracles, the karma, the madness. What do you expect with week 13? There's always something with that number. Any triskaidekaphobic, I'm not one, can attest to that. So week 14 should be interesting with all the scenarios played out. 4 divisions could be clinched. Carolina can get a first round bye. All they have to do is win, and they're playing Atlanta, so that should be easy. So that's the review of that's my review of week 13. Enjoy week 14 with all of its crazy scenarios. Until next week.